Jesus loves me, the Bible tells me so. See, some of y'all are going to stand out there until you saw me pull out candy. I saw that. I know it brings you. All right, so we're going to start right here. I want you to take it. Here we go. It's candy. This is candy. This is candy. Here we go. This is part of the lesson. This isn't just a bribe, although we'll take it both ways. All right, here we go, big man. Oh, go. Look at there. I gotta skip you. No, this is you. This is you. All right, don't open it just yet. Don't open it just yet. Hold on to it. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna give you a chance to trade. Is that all right? I don't know if y'all ever on the playground at school. Here you go, Harrison. And all right, we're gonna start here. All right, so if you want to trade, she has to trade. Do you want to trade with her, or you want to keep yours? She has to trade unless you say trade. You say trade, you want to trade? Yes or no? You're going to keep it. You going to keep it? All right. Do you want to trade? Anybody want to trade? You'll trade? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he has a blueberry. We're going to swap blueberry for a peppermint. Who else? Anybody want to trade? You want to trade? All right, anybody want to trade with him? Nobody? Oh, you said you trade with him? You want to trade with her? All right, she'll trade with you. Anyone else? Anybody? Going once? Is everyone been served or wishes to be served? Nope? We're good? Everybody's got, oh, you and Ryan going to trade? All right, we got a green for a blue. Everybody good? Everybody good? So do you like, which one did you end up with? You like those mints? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes we trade up, and sometimes we trade down. Okay? Now, what does that mean? That means sometimes God gives us exactly what we need, whether we realize it or not. And in the Bible, it talks about a brother who wanted to trade something for something else. And it was Esau and Jacob. And Esau and Jacob is a story we read in the Bible. And all of a sudden, Esau was very, very, very hungry. And he came home and he saw his brother in there cooking on the stove. And he says, I want some food. I want it right now. And he goes, it's my food. He says, what do you want? I'm starving to death. He says, well, I'll tell you what, if you'll sell me your birthright. My birthright, that's not worth thousands of dollars. I know, if you're hungry, no. Okay, fine. And he trades his birthright, thousands of dollars, for a piece of candy, if you would. For right here and right now, what I can have. And sometimes we trade what we want for right now for what God has for us for the long term. And I have to say, in my life, guys, I've traded some long-term gains for some short-term gains. There's been times where I knew I needed to lose some weight, but I was going to eat that ice cream. I just was. I was hungry, and I was willing to trade that. But I want to encourage you not to sell yourself short, not to trade. Before someone offers you something, say, hey, because someone can say, hey, I need you to cheat, because I didn't stay for the test today. So you're going to trade your integrity and your honesty for maybe making a friend for that moment. And that's not good. That's a bad trade. That's what we used to call a bad trade on the playground. Every once in a while, I had a friend, he said, he was over there and he was opening up a Fiber One bar, or that's not what they called it back then, but that's basically what it was. And I was like, dude, what do you got? He goes, oh, what? This looks really cool. And I said, what'd you trade? He says, a Twinkie. I said, dude, you got took. You got took. Oh, that's a bad trade. But we don't want to trade God's long-term awesome plan for a short-term gain. Because we can lie, we can cheat, we can steal, we can do things that would not bring honor to God. And God's going to have so much better things for you. Please don't trade your future for your present. So I want to pray and ask God to help us remember that. Don't sell ourselves short. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for your blessings. Father, you've given us exactly what we need. Many of us in this room, gave us. You gave us curly hair, we wanted straight. You gave us a shy spirit, we want to be bold. Father, you've given us different things, and we look at what we've got in our hands, we go, I want what they've got, and that just doesn't seem fair. And you're saying, hold on. Hold on to what I've given you, and don't trade it. Because it is for a specific time and place. I've made you the way you are, and you are perfect and beautiful in my sight. Don't trade it to be normal like everyone else. I've made you to stand out. Why are you hiding? Father, I thank you for this group. Bless them in your name. Everybody say amen. Do we have children's church? We're going to sit with Mom. We have a few that's going to sit with Mom. You can go find your mom. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here this morning. I tell you, I want to give a shout out to our pastor, Dr. Jason Bowen, as he has finished his doctorate and walked the line. If you haven't seen the picture of he and his pretty little tassel and funky little hat, it's great. I always think it's funny that they would make the doctors wear the kind of weird looking hat, but you have to stand out, right? And the different tassels and all that means. That's awesome that he has endured to the end and has got his degree. We're proud of him. I'm humbled to be in front of you today as a stand-in, and I'm honored. I will say that I was reminded anytime that you're charged to speak God's word, whether it's in a Sunday school class or especially in this arena, it's humbling. It's humbling. And you're also just kind of have a target painted on your face. This week has been a very tough week for me and my family. Could have been worse. I don't think this is not sympathy needing. But I'm just saying that I look back and I can see Satan kind of pointing and picking and prodding on me. Matter of fact, some of you may or may have not noticed the preacher in the bar loft in a panic. I couldn't find my notes. I was like, where are my notes? I'm looking around, and I was kind of had a panic, and I was like, well, we couldn't old school it this morning. I just kind of run up there and go at it, and sure enough, by that time, Stephen had closed his book and walked away, and there they were on the pulpit. All right, we're gonna make it. But I'm honored to be here this morning, and I do want to take a moment just to shout out to the mothers again, just to say we love you and we're grateful that you're here. And I want to read. I was kind of compelled. I have a kind of a story poem written by Murphy Maroney, and forgive me if my reading is not stellar, but let's just do it to you women. It says, you are the keeper. You are the keeper of schedules, of practices, games, and lessons, of projects, parties, and dinners, of appointments and homework and assignments. You are keepers of information. Who needs food 5 minutes before meltdown occurs? Who needs space when they get angry? That's who you are. Whether there are clean clothes, whether bills are paid, whether we are out of milk or not. You are keepers of solutions, of Band-Aids, of sewing kits, and snacks in your purse. You also of emotional bombs and security blankets. You are keepers of preferences, of likes and dislikes, of nightly rituals and food allergies. You are the keeper of reminders to be kind, to pick up their trash, to do their dishes, and to do their homework, to hold open doors and to write down thank you notes. You are keepers of rituals and memories of pumpkin patches and Easter hunts. You are the taker of pictures and the collector of special ornaments and a writer of letters. You are the keeper of emotional security and of comfort, the navigator of bad moods, the holder of secrets, and the smoother of fears. You're the keeper of the peace, the mediator of fights, the arbiter of disputes, the facilitator of language, and the handler of differing personalities. You are the keeper of worry. You are the keeper of worry, theirs and your own. You're the keeper of good and the bad, the big and the small, the beautiful and the hard. So to all of you who keep, we see you. We know the way of things that you keep. We know the invisible work you do, which does not come with pay or sick leave. That is what makes the world go round. We see you, and we salute you. Just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for your hard work and the behind the scenes. It is a tough job. And I knew it was a tough job, but I tell you what, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for my beautiful wife and the mothers that she is to my children. And I laughed inwardly as I was reading that for the first time and going, the keeper of things. Matter of fact, how many of y'all had a mama that we had a Ziploc bag in the glove box of our car with a wet washcloth for every trip. That was so smart. And especially since like the sticky fingers, right? And the orange mouths and all the things that would spill and soon incur. But how true that is. This morning we're going to be in 1 Samuel. If you have your Bibles, and I hope you do. If you'll turn to 1 Samuel 1. 1 Samuel 1 is page 298 in my Bible. That doesn't mean anything to you. But it's 1 Samuel 1. And it is the story of a mother named Hannah. And if I could title this sermon this morning, I would title it, Hold On, Hannah. Hold On. That sounds like a good song title. I don't know if maybe somebody should start on that. But hold on, Hannah. Hold on. But as we read this story, we see some powerful lessons. Some powerful lessons. And I want to pull to light 4. Just 4 points. And I'm going to do my best to stand up, speak up, shut up, and sit down. I know some of y'all got family waiting. I'm aware of that. Some of you have crock pots on, right? Yeah, it's a crock pot day. The restaurants are going to be full. We want to get there before everybody else does. So I'm going to hit the ground running. So if you would turn to 1 Samuel 1, and if you're there, I want to read with me real quick. It says, there was a certain man from Raymond. See, I meant to start on verse 2. Let's start on verse 2. Bethlehem had 2 wives. One he called Hannah, and the other Peninnah. Peninnah he had children, but Hannah had none. Year after year this man went up from his own town to worship and sacrifice to the Lord Almighty at Shiloh. Were Hophni and Phinehas, the 2 sons of Eli, were priests of the Lord. Whenever that day would come, Eglon to sacrifice, he would give portions to the meat to his wife Peninnah and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he gave a double portion because he loved her. And the Lord had closed her womb. Because the Lord had closed her womb, her rival kept provoking her in order to irritate her. This went on for year after year. After Hannah went up to the house of the Lord, her rival provoked her till she wept and would not eat. Eglon, her husband, would say to her, Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? Don't I mean more to you more than these 10 sons? Once they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now Eli the priest was sitting in a chair by the doorpost of the Lord of the temple. In bitterness of soul, Hannah wept much, and she prayed to the Lord. She made a vow, saying, O Lord Almighty, if you will only look upon your servant's ministry, and remember me, and will not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give you to him, to the Lord, for all the days of his life, and the razor will not be used on his head. And now that's a powerful passage. But just to kind of overview that, we have a man that has 2 wives. And one wife has several children. And then we have Hannah. And Hannah has no children. And that's a disgrace to her, and especially in that culture. But it's a saddened heart. And not only is she saddened that she doesn't have any children, she's also saddened that the other wife has all these children. She just keeps having more and more children, and every time she has a child, she's reminded of her failure. Before long, she is grief-stricken, she is torn, and she becomes embittered, and she gets very sad. And that's on a whole different level. But she goes up to the Lord's house, as they do year after year, to give offering. And as she does, she cries out to God. She weeps bitterly at His throne. I want to stop there for a moment. My first point this morning, if you're taking notes, is we all have a competition to combat. We have a competition to combat. Because in this world, we are surrounded by people who compare. And we're inundated with Facebook and online, and we're just very public and very private, not very private culture, to where everything is posted. And we post pictures of the perfect meal, of the perfect holiday, of the perfect dress, of the perfect whatever. We're all the time posting things around, and that's tough, because that can steal your joy. That can steal your joy. But if you're always looking at others, because this is what we do. This is what I do. We compare other people's, you can write this down, we compare other people's highlight reel to our behind the scenes. Right? They take like 15 pictures and highlights, and they crop and they post, and no, everyone wasn't smiling that time, one more time. They take 100 pictures, and then they post the best one. And we see that moment. I don't know if you've ever been in church. Sometimes I enjoy watching people. I used to make this joke. This applies here as well. But I used to tell people, I'm grateful that we live in Jackson. We have a commute. Because honest to goodness, this preacher, sometimes when we get in the car, it's not always pleasant. There's people squalling, having a fit, and the boys are bad too. But it's bad. But it can be tough. It can be tough because, we're all different, and we're all trying to get ready, and the iron doesn't want to work, and you didn't take your medicine. Oh my goodness, halfway to church, I didn't get breakfast. It's like, oh my goodness. How many times did I tell you sit down and eat? How many times did I tell you? And it's like, I can't believe, before I was a parent, I had no idea. We would drive down the road and you'd see shoes on the side of the road going, how did that happen? And I became a parent. You go, that's how that happens. You walk outside with your hands full and something gets set on top of the car and you get most of it off the top of the car. You get halfway somewhere and go, did you get my shoes? That's how that happens. That's how the comedian said, insanity is hereditary. You get it from your kids. You do. It's tough. It's tough. Parenting is hard. But and I used to joke about, we have a drive to church. I said, because it was like the first 15 minutes, like nobody talked. The kids in the back. They're trying to pull it together because they're crying, and where everybody's stewing, and but by the time we got to church, everything's all right. And I have to say, some of us in this room need a longer drive to church. Just saying. But as you watch people through, I used to love, I would come and I would stand in the pulpit, and everybody's coming into church, or last church, Libya Church, and I'll be in the pulpit, and I'll be going through my notes and stuff, and I would watch the mamas come in, and they're straightening little boys, and all and the daddies. It was so funny to watch the parents come in. Oh God, I get it. Because by the time session came, they all walk in and they're all mashed up and aggressive. And it was like, I saw y'all before church. But see, we compare our behind the scenes to other people's highlight reel, and it's hard. It's hard when you see people posting that you're at, it never fails, right? You're somewhere at a nice restaurant like McDonald's, and you're sitting there eating your little salad, right? And it never fails. At that moment, someone wants to post their Red Lobster meal, right? I want that. Or worse, you're like, hey guys, let's go to the park, and you're throwing ball, everything's feeling really good until somebody posts about their Bahama trip, right? You're going, I want to go to Bahama. doesn't have that appeal. And we're in a comparison culture. And it steals our joy. It steals our joy. We need to combat that. We need to stop for a moment and say, God, you give me what I need when I need it, period, in discussion. I love you. I thank you. I'm blessed. God, you are so good to me. When we take more time to thank our God for what we've got, man, we'd be a happy people. We'd be a happy people. I couldn't tell you how many times my boys can attest. We'll be sitting in a group like this, whether it's in children's church or in youth or wherever, and I'll look over to Will, and I'll hand out, and I'll be one short. And I'll look at Will, and he goes, he hands it to me. Because because I'm wearing one shot. He goes, okay. But the first few times, you know what happened? He goes, but I wanted it. Boy, look at me. Who bought that? You did. Do you not think I got more in my car? Oh, yeah. You get the bag. You're the preacher's son. You know, you get it's like the leftovers are huge. I just pulled a handful out. There's a whole bag in the car. And the father's going, there's a whole bag in the car. What are you griping about? I gave you peace. Yeah, they're on that trip. They're going to work for the next 10 years to pay for it. It may look good in a picture. Peace is priceless. We find peace in knowing that we are in God's will. We're doing what God wants us to do. And sometimes we can trade that peace for right here and right now. But don't do that. Don't do that. Combat the competition. And here we have Hannah. And she's looking at the other wife going, she's got kids. Oh my goodness, she's having another kid. You know, she's getting more and more bitter. And if we're not careful, that will get a hold of us. And our one will turn to bitterness. And at that moment, we need to learn to cast our cares. Point number 2. See, I'm going along. Cast your cares. We have the care to cast. You have a burden on your heart. Each of us in here came in this morning with a burden on our heart. It may seem big, maybe others doesn't seem that big, but to you it's a burden. Maybe you came this morning dreading. Mother's Day is a hard day for you. And you're dreading. You're waiting for this to be over and get back to normal life. I get that. Here's the thing. God says cast. Cast your cares. Cast your cares on me. Lean on me. Help me. Help you find your peace. Stop looking around. And I want you to come to me and cast your cares. 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. I love that picture. He doesn't say, fold it up nice and neatly and bring it to God. He says cast it. It's like throwing something. And I love this, that Hannah comes to church and she kneels at the altar and God, she has an ugly cry. Because it's an ugly cry. It's just like, can't fix it cry. And I love that picture because she goes to God and she cries out to Him. And some of us need an honest moment with God. You've been praying flowery prayers for years. Oh God, I know. Yeah, I should. And He's going, that ain't you. I see, you're just a stuffer. See, you're angry because you think I'm not going to take care of you. You're not trusting me. I'm the God. I can take that. I need you to stop stuffing it away. I need you to start revealing. I need you to just give it to me. Give it to me. Have an honest moment with God. He knows your heart anyway. Just have an honest moment with God. Sometimes we need to have a good, honest moment. Have you been honest with Him lately? Have you been honest with you? You've been angry. You don't even know why you're angry. Maybe you need to get along with God. Maybe that's the whole thing. So sermon's over. You just go home and just get along with God. And just go, God, why am I angry? I'm just angry. I don't even know why. Let Him tease that out. Let Him love on your soul. And you may find yourself in a moment shaking your fist going, God, this is not fair. I didn't ask for this. So I got big shoulders. I'm a big guy. Just keep coming. Cast your cares. Throw them. Throw them as hard as you can. I can catch it. Cast it. Just be honest. Have an ugly cry at the moment. You'll feel better. And you'll know that you can trust me. You can trust me with your honesty. You can trust me with your hurt. You can trust me. Cast your cares. Point number 2. Point number 3. Some of us have a dream to reevaluate. Maybe you have a dream you need to stop for a moment and go, is that really from God or is that from me? Did I get that kind of nudge from God? Did God put that in my spirit or did I conjure that? Did I get in my head that I'm supposed to be married by this time and have kids by this time and life is supposed to be this way and my husband's supposed to be this way and my wife's supposed to be this way and my job's supposed to work out that way and my career will wrap up at this moment? And God's going, who told you that? Who told you that? I didn't tell you that. I told you to trust me. And I'll give you life more abundant, not the American dream. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it don't. And God is still God. He's still worthy of your trust. He's still worthy of our praise. Sometimes we need to stop for a moment and go, what was I dreaming about? Who was I? I thought this. And just have a moment and figure this out, because we have Hannah, and she has a dream, and it's a good dream to have a child. But before long, you know that her dream had to change from, I want a child and be a mother and honor God, to all of a sudden, I want more kids than her, right? I don't want people to whisper at me anymore and go, what'd she do wrong? What'd she do wrong? Why does she have kids? I don't want to be different. God, everybody else has kids and I'm different. And her dream changed to having a child to honor God. So I want to be normal. I want a child. And I feel like at this moment she cries out to God. And it's like an aha moment. She goes, you know what, God? I've been wanting a child maybe for the wrong reasons. God, if you'll give me a child, I'll give him to you. See, a good sacrifice clears the runway. A moment where you look at God face to face and go, okay, God, hands off. I'm giving it to you. I'm going to sacrifice this to you. And God's voice can begin to echo into our heart. And His love becomes more evident. And His will, oh, that's right, God, that's your voice. And this is a real moment. I was a young man right out of college, and I'd been through several relationships that did not work out, and I was torn, I was beaten, I was bruised, and I was upset, and I was on the look, because who's next? And I had a good friend, because I had a desire to be married with kids. I was just like, that's what I want. That's what I want. Honest to goodness, I had a good friend of mine speak words of wisdom to this day, just since Cheryl was talking about. Because he looked at me one day and said, Danny, what if God's plan for you is you never to get married? And I said, shut your mouth. That's not even funny. He said, but I'm just saying, what if God said, no, I can use you better if you're not married? And he said, are you not open to God using you more if you're not married? I don't like where you're going with this, is what I said. I was like, quit it. This sounds too much like truth. I want it's my money, I want it now. J.J. Woodward, I want it now. I want the American dream. I want the 2.5 kids. This is what I want. He's like, but have you stopped lately and said, God, what do you want? Okay, God, what do you want? God said, I want to be still. I don't want you to date anybody for a year. I want you to tune in to me and get close to me. Let me fall in love with me all over again. And we'll see from there. No, you're supposed to say, if I do that, then you'll let... No, I didn't say that. No. Because see, Hannah didn't get a promise. You understand that? Hannah didn't get a, hey, you forgive me this child, I'll give you more. She didn't get that. We don't read that at all in her story. She got a whisper. Now, we know it's got to be a whisper from God to give you your child, because the child wasn't a teenager yet. That's a joke. You should laugh. Because it was a teenager, yeah. But she was like, I'll give him to you as a child. As a beautiful little baby. A baby that we read that she will go year after year to the temple, and she would make a cute little robe, and no doubt she would look at him, she'd pinch his little cheek and hug him and say, Mom, that's enough. I can't breathe. She loved her child. But she made a promise to God. And God says, If you trust me, you'll make a sacrifice to me. If you trust me, you'll get along with me. You'll do things my way. Sometimes we need to reevaluate. When we take time to reevaluate a dream, sometimes it leads to a new adventure. Sometimes it's a new adventure. Some of you in this room get that. Because your dream was to have kids, and God says, I have a different adventure for you. I have a different adventure. Have you ever thought about the lady that we celebrate here, not the lady, but her ministry, Lottie Moon? She had thousands of kids, but none that she birthed her own. God had a new adventure for her life. He had something more powerful for her life. Sometimes when we lay down our dream and we're willing to give that to God, God says, good, now I can work with you. Now I have a new adventure for you. I need you to embrace that. Taking time to reevaluate can lead to an unexpected peace. Unexpected peace. That people go, I don't understand why you're happy. Don't you realize you're not normal? Don't you realize that everyone else is? And you're like, I'm good. Everyone else is going on vacation. You know what? I'm really good not to this year. I just have a peace. I'm going to save my money and be at home and do ministry to others. And I'm okay with it. Reevaluating our dream can stir a passion in the ministry. Just to take a moment and say, God, my life isn't what I planned it to be, but I want to follow your plan, can create a passion and a ministry in you like you never knew. I'm so thankful that I went through hard times as a youth. I'm thankful I went through depression. Those were hard things. But you know what? They are what made me who I am. And I have a passion. And some of you ladies in this room, some of you have gone through miscarriages, right? And then all of a sudden you're in a room and you share that, and like 3 other women come up and hug your neck and cry with you. They're hurt with you. They have a passion in the ministry that everyone else goes, oh, and they don't get it. But they get it. It's a passion in the ministry because I've hurt in that way. Therefore, I've lost a loved one in that way. Therefore, I'm going to lay down my dream and I'm going to trust in God in His way. I'm going to embrace that new adventure. I'm going to have an unexpected peace. I'm going to have a new passion in the ministry. She had to lay down her dreams of having a normal family and give up her child. And she did it open-handedly. And lastly, last point, some of you just turned around and said that. She has a God to trust, and so do we. We have a God to trust. A God that says, hey, I love you, I know you're hurting, but my grace is sufficient. I know that's tough. I'm right here with you. My grace is sufficient. But God, I thought you promised. No, that's what that television TV said. I never said that. My word says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I'm going to walk with you through that valley. Matter of fact, better yet, I'm going to crawl in the ditch and sit down with you. And we're going to have a good cry. I'm going to love you. I'm going to give you a peace. I'm going to give you a passion. I'm going to give you a new ministry. And we're going to step out of this ditch and we're going to go to a whole different level. And you know what? Regardless of how hard this life is, my other promise I will make to you is not only are you not alone, this isn't all there is. Amen. That should got a few amens there. This isn't all there is. There'll be a day we'll pay no more taxes. I have no more laundry to do. That's right. We have a God that says, trust me. My grace is sufficient. My presence, my power. You can trust these things. My provision. Hold on, Hannah. Hold on. Hold on to His plan. His plan is perfect. Hold on to His presence. He is right there with you. Hold on to His provisions. He will provide. In her story, we do find that God does provide her more children. And I'm grateful for her. That's good. That's good for her. Let me let you in on the inside. You're not guaranteed that. I'm not going to lie to you. There are preachers that will say it, thankfully not ours. Brother Jason is on the same page. Just because you do what's right doesn't mean life will work out. Life may get worse. Make it harder. You may get sick. This life is not fair. But our God says, you can trust my plan. You can trust my power in my presence. You can trust me. And even when you can't trace my hand in your life, trust my heart. Read my word. My word says, I love my people. My word says, I'm looking for a chance to say, that's my girl. That's my boy. I love them. I love them. He loves you. Come today to a God who loves you. You can trust Him. You can cast your cares. Let's see if you'll come up. You can cast your cares. You can lean on Him. Maybe we need to deal with some comparison this morning. Maybe the altars are here for you to just kneel and say, God, I'm tired of comparing. I know I do it. Maybe, hello, the preachers want to say, maybe we just need to turn off Facebook for a week. Ouch. The world will survive without you, I promise. It'll be hard. Maybe it's something else that you just look around. Maybe instead of being angry at that coworker or that person that you're around that they have what you want, maybe you should start praying for them. Praying that God would show you a peace and a passion and a ministry. Maybe we need to reevaluate some dreams this morning. Regardless, I want to encourage you to hold on. Hold on to God. He's trustworthy. He is good. He's a good Father. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for the privilege to come and to hear your word. Father, thank you for Hannah. As she pours out her heart, as she cries out to you, she lays at your altar and says, God, this is not fair. She has an honest moment. She cries out to you. She casts her cares on you. And you put your arms around her and you love on her. And you say, you can trust me. You can trust me. God, I can imagine there was a quiver in her voice. She said, God, if you'll give me a child, I'll give him to you. I'm not going to ask for anything in return. God, you're so good. I just want to give it to you. Because God, I've reevaluated my dreams. They weren't your dreams. There were dreams cast on me by media and by friends and family and society. And I haven't stopped to say, God, what do you want? God, what do you want? After all, I made you Lord one time in my life. That means I do that, right? Father, maybe we need to reevaluate this morning. Bless this time. Father, if there's someone here this morning that doesn't know you for the first time, and they've just realized they have a God who loves them, is the lover of their soul, and wants to show them a beautiful purpose in their life, Father, I ask that you bring them home today. Bless this time. We trust you, Father. Help us trust you. In your name, amen. Please stand and sing.